Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to change their lives effortlessly, while others struggle endlessly to make progress? It's not about luck, talent, or even sheer willpower. The real secret lies in something far simpler and far more powerful than you might expect. It's the small, consistent habits you choose to build every single day. You might be thinking, small habits? How could tiny actions possibly reshape my entire future? But here's the truth. Life doesn't change in a single leap. It changes in the quiet moments, the tiny decisions you make repeatedly, the way you start your morning, the thoughts you feed your mind, the small steps you take when no one is watching. These habits don't shout for attention, but over time, they carve the path that leads you to success, happiness, and fulfillment. Imagine planting a seed. You don't see the growth immediately. You water it every day and it seems like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are strengthening, and soon a shoot breaks through the soil, reaching for the sun. Your life works the same way. The small habits you choose to nurture today are the roots of the incredible person you will become tomorrow. What's standing between you and that life right now? It's not the big goals or the overwhelming challenges. It's the habits you haven't yet built, the routines you haven't yet mastered. And the good news? You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Change is not about sudden bursts of energy or willpower that burn out fast. It's about commitment to tiny shifts that quietly transform who you are. You're about to embark on a journey, one that will ask you to rethink what change really means. It will challenge you to face your own resistance, your doubts, and the excuses that keep you stuck. But it will also show you that real transformation doesn't require heroic effort. It only requires a willingness to start small, to be consistent, and to believe in the power of gradual progress. By the end of this journey, you won't just know what habits to build, you'll understand why those habits matter, how they shape your identity, and how they create a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. This isn't about quick fixes or fleeting motivation. It's about building a foundation so solid that nothing, no setback, no distraction, no fear can shake you. Chapter 1. The Habit of Showing Up. There's a simple truth many people overlook. Success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it. Think about the times you gave up before you really started. Maybe it was a workout, a new project, or a goal you once dreamed about. What stopped you? Often, it's not a lack of ability, but the failure to simply show up. Showing up means being present, fully engaged in the moment, no matter how small the action. It's the habit of committing to your path, even when motivation fades or doubts creep in. It's easy to get caught waiting for the perfect moment, for the right mood or the perfect plan. But here's what most people don't realize. Perfect moments rarely come. What truly matters is the consistent act of stepping forward, no matter how imperfectly. Picture an artist painting a masterpiece. The first stroke isn't always beautiful. In fact, it might be messy or awkward. But the artist keeps going, stroke after stroke, shaping the vision into reality. You are that artist in your own life. Each time you show up, you add a stroke to your canvas, slowly transforming the blank space into something powerful. Why does this habit matter so much? Because progress isn't linear. You won't always see immediate results. You'll face setbacks, distractions, and moments when quitting seems easier. But the act of showing up builds a momentum that pushes through resistance. It rewires your brain to expect action, even when your emotions scream, "Stop." Let's bring this to life. Imagine waking up with the desire to improve your health. Instead of forcing yourself into a 3-hour workout, you simply commit to putting on your sneakers and stepping outside for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. Most days, you'll keep going beyond those 5 minutes, but on days when you don't, you still win because you showed up. This tiny habit rewires your identity. You're no longer someone who wants to be healthy. You become someone who shows up for themselves. And that shift in self-perception creates unstoppable power. Showing up is a challenge because it asks you to face discomfort without promise of immediate reward. It's about being patient with your growth and trusting the process. You might not be ready to run a marathon today, but you can show up and take that first step. You might not have your dream job yet, but you can show up to learn, to network, to build skills. Remember, the habit of showing up isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about refusing to let fear or doubt keep you on the sidelines. And here's the secret. Once you make showing up non-negotiable, everything else starts to fall into place. So start now. Make the decision to show up for yourself today in one small way. Because every habit, every success, every breakthrough begins with this simple, powerful act. And as you strengthen this habit, your confidence will grow, your resilience will deepen, and your vision for what's possible will expand. Now that you've embraced the power of showing up, consider how you can deepen your awareness of your daily choices, the small moments that shape your life in ways you might not even notice yet. That awareness is the key to the next step in your transformation. Chapter 2. The Habit of Mindful Awareness. You might be surprised to learn that the biggest roadblock to change isn't external circumstances or lack of resources. It's the way you move through your day, often without truly noticing. This unconscious autopilot mode keeps you stuck in old patterns, repeating the same mistakes and blind to opportunities for growth. That's where the habit of mindful awareness steps in. It's your secret weapon for reclaiming control over your life. Mindful awareness means paying close attention to your thoughts, feelings, and actions in the present moment, without judgment or distraction. It's not about forcing yourself to be perfect or hyper-focused all the time. It's about gently tuning in, like adjusting a radio dial to catch a clearer signal. When you cultivate this habit, you start to recognize the subtle choices you make, those tiny, almost invisible decisions that steer your day and ultimately your future. Consider this. How often do you find yourself reacting to situations automatically, only to realize later that you wished you'd handled them differently? Maybe it's snapping at someone, skipping a workout, or scrolling endlessly on your phone. These moments are clues, whispers from your inner self, revealing where your attention has drifted and what needs your care. Practicing mindful awareness is like becoming your own detective. You observe without blame or frustration. Instead of beating yourself up for missing the mark, you ask questions. What am I feeling right now? What triggered this reaction? What am I avoiding? These inquiries open a space for choice, a pause where you can decide to respond differently. Start small. Take a moment in your day, maybe during your morning coffee or while walking to work, and simply notice your surroundings, your breath, your bodily sensations. As you practice, expand this awareness to your thoughts and emotions. When stress or temptation arises, don't push it away. Acknowledge it and watch how it influences your behavior. This habit rewires your brain to be present, to catch destructive patterns before they control you. It helps you break free from mindless habits and replace them with intentional actions that align with your goals. The more you practice, the more empowered you become to choose who you want to be in each moment. Imagine the power of realizing, mid-reaction, that you don't have to respond with anger or avoidance. Imagine catching yourself before reaching for that junk food or skipping your personal goals. That's the transformative magic of mindful awareness. It gives you a chance to rewrite your story one moment at a time. And as your awareness deepens, you'll start seeing connections you never noticed before, the patterns in your behavior, the triggers that hold you back, the small wins that fuel your progress. This clarity is the foundation for all lasting change. As this habit takes root, it naturally leads you to a deeper understanding of your values and priorities, the compass that guides your habits toward meaningful growth. That clarity is the heartbeat of the next phase in your journey, Chapter 3, the habit of purposeful intention. Purposeful intention is the difference between drifting aimlessly and steering your life with deliberate power. Without intention, even your best efforts can scatter like leaves in the wind, leaving you exhausted but unfulfilled. When you cultivate this habit, every decision, every habit, every small action carries meaning. It becomes a step toward the life you truly desire. Think about a time you acted without much thought. Maybe you said yes to something out of obligation, or you started a task without really understanding why. How often did those moments lead to frustration or wasted energy? Now imagine the opposite, waking up each day with a crystal clear purpose guiding your choices, a strong why that pulls you forward even when obstacles arise. This habit asks you to slow down and ask yourself, what is it that matters most to me? What legacy do I want to build? What kind of person do I want to become? Your answers don't have to be grand or complicated, they just need to be honest and true. Intention isn't about perfection, it's about direction. Once you've identified your intention, the real work begins, aligning your daily habits to serve it. This alignment creates a powerful momentum, turning ordinary actions into meaningful progress. When your habits reflect your intentions, motivation becomes intrinsic. It doesn't rely on fleeting emotions because it's anchored in something deeper. Here's an example. If your intention is to improve your health, every small habit, from choosing water over soda to taking a walk after dinner, gains a new significance. It's no longer just a random act. It's a conscious step toward becoming healthier, stronger, more vibrant. That sense of purpose transforms how you experience challenges. They become necessary parts of your growth, not obstacles to avoid. Purposeful intention also guards against distraction and burnout. When you're clear about your why, it's easier to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to the actions that matter. It helps you conserve energy and focus, creating a powerful rhythm in your life. As you make this habit part of your daily routine, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll start to see setbacks as feedback, not failure. You'll embrace discomfort as part of progress, and you'll cultivate patience, knowing that purposeful change is a journey, not a race. Purposeful intention invites you to take ownership of your story and to write it with conscious choices. It's the bridge between your awareness and the results you crave. And as this habit deepens, it naturally strengthens your resilience, the ability to rise again when life pushes back. That resilience is the heartbeat of the next habit, one that empowers you to keep moving forward no matter what. Chapter 4, the habit of resilient persistence. In every story of success, there's a chapter that often goes untold, the relentless refusal to quit. It's not the moments of triumph that define us, but the moments we rise after falling. The habit of resilient persistence is what transforms setbacks into stepping stones and failures into lessons. It's the muscle you build when life pushes hard and you push back harder. You already know the path to growth isn't smooth. There will be days when doubt clouds your vision, when obstacles feel insurmountable, when your energy wanes and your motivation dips. The difference between those who reach their goals and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's persistence wrapped in resilience. Resilient persistence means showing up not only when the weather is fair, but when storms rage. It's the courage to keep walking even when the path is unclear. It's understanding that failure is not a full stop, but a comma, a pause before the next chapter unfolds. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike chips away imperfections, revealing the form hidden within. Sometimes the chisel slips and the sculptor must adjust, steady their hand, and keep going. That's exactly how resilient persistence works in your life. The setbacks aren't signs you should stop. They are signals that your masterpiece is taking shape. Building this habit starts with a mindset shift. You have to stop seeing setbacks as proof of your inadequacy and start seeing them as essential feedback. Every failure carries valuable information about what works, what doesn't, and where you need to grow. When you embrace this perspective, you empower yourself to learn faster and adapt smarter. Persistence without resilience is just stubbornness. It drains your energy and morale. Resilient persistence, however, is fueled by purpose and compassion for yourself. It means you don't beat yourself up for mistakes. You give yourself permission to rest, recover, and return stronger. This habit also requires cultivating patience. Real change takes time. Quick wins are tempting but often fleeting. Resilient persistence is about committing to the long game. It's the quiet power that pushes you through the nights when progress feels invisible. Take a moment and think of a challenge you faced recently. Did you quit at the first sign of difficulty? Or did you find a way to push through, learning something new, gaining strength? That choice you made, even if small, was a practice of resilience. The beauty of this habit is that it compounds. The more you practice rising after falling, the stronger your resilience becomes. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, knowing that no matter what happens, you can face it and keep moving forward. Resilient persistence isn't just about enduring, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. It builds character, sharpens focus, and deepens your commitment to your purpose. When you make this habit part of who you are, obstacles lose their power to stop you. As your resilience grows, so will your confidence to take on bigger challenges. You'll discover a well of inner strength you didn't know existed, ready to be tapped whenever life demands it. This unshakable confidence will soon lead you to cultivate a habit that transforms your energy from scattered to focused, fueling your journey with clarity and power. Chapter 5. The Habit of Focused Energy. There's a reason why some people seem to move through their days with unstoppable momentum while others feel drained and overwhelmed. It's not about working harder, it's about directing your energy with precision and intention. The habit of focused energy is the secret weapon that transforms scattered effort into powerful progress. Energy is the currency of achievement. Without it, even the clearest goals remain out of reach. But here's the catch. Energy isn't limitless. It fluctuates, influenced by your choices, environment, and mindset. Most people let their energy leak away through distractions, negative thoughts, and unnecessary commitments. But when you learn to harness your energy intentionally, you become a force to be reckoned with. Focused energy means knowing exactly where to put your effort and how to protect that effort from being diluted. It's about eliminating the noise, those endless notifications, the mental clutter, the obligations that don't serve your purpose. It's about creating space for what truly matters. Imagine trying to light a fire with scattered sparks flying in all directions. The fire won't catch, and your efforts go up in smoke. But when you focus those sparks, channeling them into one steady flame, that fire grows strong and bright. Your energy works the same way. Building this habit starts with recognizing what drains you and what fuels you. Pay attention to your body and mind. When do you feel most alive, most creative, most motivated? When do you feel tired, distracted, or restless? Use this knowledge to structure your day so that your most important work happens when your energy peaks. Protecting your focused energy also means learning to say no. It means being ruthless about your time and commit. It means turning off the noise and setting boundaries that keep you centered. This is not selfishness, it's self-preservation. When you conserve your energy, you can invest it where it counts. A powerful technique to cultivate this habit is to create energy blocks in your schedule, periods of undisturbed time dedicated solely to your highest priorities. During these blocks, silence distractions, set clear goals, and immerse yourself fully. Even short bursts of focused effort can lead to breakthroughs when done consistently. Another key to focused energy is managing your mental state. Negative self-talk, anxiety, and overwhelm are energy thieves. Practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, or a quick walk can reset your mindset and restore your vitality. Remember, focused energy isn't about burning out. It's about working smarter, not harder. It's about becoming intentional with your power so you can sustain your drive over the long haul. As you strengthen this habit, you'll notice a profound shift. Tasks that once felt daunting become manageable. Your creativity flourishes. Your confidence grows because you know you're investing your energy wisely. And this focused energy creates the foundation for the next habit, a habit that transforms your environment to support your growth, instead of hinder it. Chapter 6. The habit of environment mastery. Your surroundings, both physical and mental, shape the trajectory of your life more than you might realize. This habit, environment mastery, is about taking control over the spaces and influences around you to build a foundation that supports your highest aspirations. It's about transforming your environment from a passive backdrop into an active partner in your growth. Consider how easy it is to slip back into old habits when you're surrounded by distractions, negativity, or chaos. A cluttered room, noisy notifications, toxic relationships, they all chip away at your focus, your energy, and your motivation. On the flip side, a well-designed environment creates momentum, minimizes friction, and makes the path to success clearer and smoother. Mastering your environment begins with intentionality. What do you allow into your personal and mental space? Who do you spend time with? What media do you consume? What does your workspace look like? These aren't trivial questions. They are the building blocks of your daily experience and long-term habits. Start small. Clear one corner of your room or desk. Remove the distractions you know pull you away from your goals. Create a space that invites focus, creativity, and calm. This physical shift alone can trigger a mental reset and prepare you for deeper work. But environment mastery goes beyond physical space. It's also about curating your social circle and influences. Surround yourself with people who challenge, inspire, and support you. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy or keep you tethered to limiting beliefs. Remember, your mindset is often a reflection of the company you keep. In addition, be mindful of the information you consume. Your brain is like a sponge, absorbing ideas, beliefs, and emotions from your environment. Feed it with positivity, knowledge, and motivation. Choose books, podcasts, and conversations that elevate your thinking and fuel your purpose. Environment mastery also means setting up routines and cues that reinforce your habits. Use reminders, alarms, or visual signals that nudge you toward action. These subtle environmental triggers can automate your success by making good habits the easy default. As you take ownership of your environment, you'll find that resistance to change diminishes. You'll move through your day with less friction and more flow. Your environment will no longer be a barrier but a catalyst. Mastering your environment is not about control for control's sake. It's about creating conditions where your best self can thrive naturally. It's about removing obstacles and building bridges toward your vision. This habit prepares you for the next powerful shift, cultivating a mindset of gratitude that fuels resilience and joy through every step of your journey. Chapter 7. The Habit of Gratitude. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you. It's a powerful habit that rewires your brain to focus on what's working, what's possible, and what's abundant in your life. When you cultivate gratitude, you build an inner fortress of resilience that carries you through challenges and fuels your motivation to keep growing. Most people underestimate how deeply gratitude can transform their experience. It shifts your attention from scarcity to plenty, from frustration to appreciation, from "I don't have enough" to "I am enough." This shift isn't superficial. It changes how your brain processes information, influencing your emotions, decisions, and relationships. Imagine waking up each morning and taking a moment to acknowledge something meaningful, no matter how small. Maybe it's the warmth of sunlight, a supportive friend, a recent success, or even a lesson learned from failure. These moments create a ripple effect, setting a positive tone that colors your entire day. Gratitude also acts as a powerful antidote to stress and negativity. When faced with obstacles, grateful people tend to bounce back faster. They see setbacks not as the end, but as part of a bigger picture. This perspective doesn't ignore pain or difficulty. It acknowledges them, but refuses to be defined by them. Building this habit starts simply. You don't need a journal or elaborate rituals, though those can help. You just need to pause regularly and ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? The more specific and sincere your answers, the stronger the effect. Sharing gratitude deepens the impact. Expressing appreciation to others strengthens your connections and builds a supportive community. It reminds you that you're not alone in your journey and that giving thanks opens doors to more blessings. This habit doesn't just make you feel better in the moment, it rewires your brain for long-term happiness and success. Studies show that people who practice gratitude consistently sleep better, have stronger immune systems, and experience greater emotional well-being. Gratitude also fuels motivation. When you recognize the good already in your life, you're inspired to nurture and expand it. It becomes a powerful motivator to maintain your habits and pursue your goals with passion. As you weave gratitude into your daily routine, you'll find that your mindset grows more positive, your relationships deepen, and your resilience strengthens. It becomes a lens through which you view the world, a lens of possibility, abundance, and hope. Gratitude prepares you to face life's uncertainties with grace and courage. It sets the stage for embracing growth with an open heart, which leads you naturally to the next habit, one that teaches you to embrace change itself as a vital part of your transformation. Chapter 8. The Habit of Embracing Change. Change is the only constant in life, yet so many resist it, cling tightly to the familiar, afraid of the unknown. But what if embracing change wasn't something to fear, but a habit to cultivate? What if learning to flow with life's shifts could become your greatest strength, propelling you toward growth instead of holding you back? The habit of embracing change starts with acceptance, the deep understanding that resistance only creates struggle. When you push against what is, you drain your energy and cloud your judgment. But when you lean into change, you open the door to new opportunities, fresh perspectives, and unexpected breakthroughs. Imagine standing in a river, fighting against the current. The harder you fight, the more exhausted you become. Now imagine letting the current carry you, guiding your movements while you steer with intention. That's the difference between resisting change and embracing it. You don't lose control, you gain fluidity and power. Building this habit requires courage. Change often brings uncertainty, discomfort, and fear, but it also carries promise. It challenges your old beliefs, your comfort zones, and invites you to evolve. Each time you lean into change, you expand your capacity for resilience and adaptability. Consider the times in your life when change led to your greatest growth, perhaps a new job, a move, or even a painful loss that eventually opened a door to something better. Those moments weren't accidents. They were invitations to stretch, to learn, to transform. Practicing this habit means shifting your mindset from "why is this happening to me?" to What can I learn from this? It means seeing setbacks as setups for comebacks. It means viewing change as a natural, necessary part of your journey rather than a disruption. You can start small, try something new each day, change your routine, or challenge a limiting belief. Notice how these small shifts build your confidence to face bigger changes with less fear and more curiosity. Embracing change also involves letting go of perfectionism and control. It means trusting yourself to navigate uncertainty and knowing that growth often happens in the discomfort zone. When you release the need to predict and control every outcome, you free yourself to be creative and open to new possibilities. This habit transforms how you handle challenges. Instead of resisting, you adapt. Instead of shrinking, you expand. Instead of fearing the unknown, you welcome it as a teacher. As you weave embracing change into your daily life, you'll discover a new kind of freedom. A freedom to evolve without being held hostage by the past or frozen by fear. This freedom is the key to unlocking your fullest potential and living a life of continuous growth. This newfound fluidity sets the stage for the next habit, one that teaches you to build emotional strength by mastering your inner dialogue. Chapter 9. The Habit of Mastering Your Inner Dialogue. Every day, an unspoken conversation takes place inside your mind. It's the voice that narrates your experiences, interprets events, and shapes how you see yourself and the world. This inner dialogue can either be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. The habit of mastering your inner dialogue is about learning to listen, challenge, and transform this voice so it works for you, not against you. Most people don't realize how powerful their self-talk is. Negative thoughts, those quick judgments, doubts, and criticisms can quietly erode your confidence and sabotage your efforts. But when you become aware of your inner dialogue, you gain the power to shift it from destructive to constructive. Imagine your mind as a radio station broadcasting messages all day long. What if you could tune that station to play empowering, encouraging, and truthful messages? That's what mastering your inner dialogue allows you to do. It's about catching the negative scripts, questioning their validity, and replacing them with affirming ones. This habit begins with awareness. Notice the tone and content of your thoughts. Are they harsh, fearful, or doubtful? Or are they supportive, hopeful, and kind? Start treating your inner voice like a conversation partner, not a dictator. When a negative thought arises, pause and ask, is this true? Is this helpful? What would I say to a friend thinking this way? Next, actively cultivate positive self-talk. Use affirmations that resonate deeply, not empty platitudes. For example, instead of saying, I'm not good enough, try, I am learning and growing every day. Instead of, I always fail, say, setbacks are opportunities to learn. These shifts may feel awkward at first, but with repetition, they rewire your brain. Mastering your inner dialogue also means embracing self-compassion. Understand that everyone struggles, makes mistakes, and experiences doubt. Speak to yourself with the kindness and patience you would offer someone you love. This creates a safe inner space where growth is possible. Real-life stories show how powerful this habit can be. Many successful people credit their breakthroughs to transforming their self-talk, relentless self-criticism to empowering encouragement. This internal shift gave them the confidence to persist, take risks, and believe in their potential. As you practice mastering your inner dialogue, you'll notice your emotions stabilizing. Anxiety, fear, and self-doubt lose their grip. Your motivation increases because you're no longer fighting yourself. This habit is a cornerstone for emotional strength. It helps you navigate challenges with grace and clarity, knowing that your mind is a tool you control, not a tyrant ruling over you. With this inner mastery in place, you'll be ready to build the next habit, a habit that fuels your growth, by deepening your learning and expanding your skills. Chapter 10. The habit of lifelong learning. Growth doesn't stop once you reach a goal. It's a continuous journey that stretches far beyond any single achievement. The habit of lifelong learning is what keeps you evolving, sharpening your skills, and adapting to a world that never stands still. It's the commitment to being a student of life, no matter how much you already know. Many people believe that learning ends with school or formal education. But the truth is, the most successful and fulfilled individuals never stop seeking knowledge. They understand that every experience, every challenge, and every conversation holds a lesson waiting to be uncovered. When you embrace lifelong learning, you tap into an endless well of possibility. This habit begins with curiosity, the desire to know more, to explore deeper, and to understand different perspectives. Curiosity breaks down barriers of complacency and boredom. It fuels creativity and innovation. When you stay curious, you stay alive to new ideas and opportunities. Integrating lifelong learning into your daily life doesn't mean you need to spend hours reading or taking courses every day. It's about small, consistent actions that build your knowledge and skills over time. Listen to a podcast during your commute. Read a few pages of a book each night. Reflect on feedback you receive and use it to improve. Learning also means being willing to step outside your comfort zone. It requires humility to admit what you don't know, and courage to try new things, even when you might fail. The habit of lifelong learning transforms mistakes from sources of shame into stepping stones for growth. When you commit to learning continuously, you create a mindset that thrives on progress rather than perfection. You become adaptable, ready to pivot when circumstances change, and open to ideas that challenge your beliefs. Lifelong learning isn't just about professional development. It's about enriching every area of your life. It deepens your empathy, sharpens your thinking, and broadens your worldview. It helps you connect with others and contribute more meaningfully. Stories of breakthrough often involve a moment of learning, when someone picked up a new skill, changed a mindset, or sought knowledge that propelled them forward. This habit turns you into an active creator of your future, not just a passive passenger. As this habit strengthens, it naturally enhances your confidence and creativity. You'll find yourself solving problems with ease and seizing opportunities that others miss. Lifelong learning lays the groundwork for the next habit, a habit of giving back, which completes the cycle of growth by connecting your success to a greater purpose. Chapter 11. The habit of giving back. True fulfillment isn't found in what you accumulate, but in what you share. The habit of giving back is the powerful practice of using your time, energy, and resources to uplift others. It's the secret ingredient that transforms success into significance and turns personal growth into collective impact. Giving back is more than charity or obligation. It's an intentional, heart-centered habit that deepens your sense of purpose and connection. When you give, you're not just helping someone else. You're enriching your own life with meaning, gratitude, and joy. This habit creates a ripple effect, inspiring kindness and generosity far beyond your immediate reach. Imagine the satisfaction that comes from knowing your efforts contribute to something bigger than yourself. Whether it's mentoring a colleague, volunteering in your community, or simply offering a listening ear, these acts build a legacy that outlasts any material achievement. Building this habit starts with awareness, recognizing the ways you can offer support that align with your skills and passions. Giving back doesn't have to be grand or time-consuming. Small, consistent acts of kindness can make a profound difference. Sometimes, the simplest gestures have the greatest impact. Giving back also strengthens your resilience. When life gets tough, having a purpose beyond yourself reminds you why you keep going. It shifts your focus from problems to possibilities and connects you with a network of support and gratitude. This habit challenges you to move beyond self-interest and embrace empathy. It invites you to listen deeply, to see others' struggles, and to act with compassion. In doing so, you cultivate humility and wisdom, enriching your own journey. Real stories show how giving back transforms lives, both for the giver and the receiver. People who make generosity a habit often report greater happiness, reduced stress, and stronger relationships. This habit turns success into a cycle of growth and contribution. As you integrate giving back into your life, you'll notice your goals take on new meaning. Your motivation shifts from mere achievement to impact, fueling sustained commitment and fulfillment. This habit completes the circle of personal growth and prepares you to embrace the final practice, the habit of joyful celebration. Chapter 12. The habit of joyful celebration. You've traveled far on this journey, building habits that transform your life from the inside out. Now, it's time to embrace the habit of joyful celebration, an often overlooked but essential practice that fuels your motivation, renews your spirit, and honors every step of your progress. Celebration isn't about waiting for the big flashy victories. It's about recognizing and appreciating the small wins, the daily breakthroughs, the moments when you chose growth over comfort. When you celebrate joyfully, you reinforce your commitment and remind yourself that progress is worth honoring. Imagine planting a garden and stopping every day to admire the first sprout, the unfolding leaf, the bloom that follows. Each small sign of growth deserves your attention and gratitude. When you celebrate, you cultivate a positive cycle that energizes your habits and makes your journey enjoyable, not just a series of tasks. This habit helps you avoid burnout and discouragement. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It nurtures self-love and confidence, reminding you that you're capable, worthy, and moving forward. Celebration can take many forms: a quiet moment of reflection, sharing your success with loved ones, rewarding yourself with something meaningful. The key is to make it authentic and consistent, turning acknowledgement into a natural part of your growth process. As you practice joyful celebration, you'll notice a deeper connection to your journey and yourself. You'll carry a sense of pride and fulfillment that propels you toward even greater heights. Now, as you stand ready to continue evolving, remember, every habit you build, every challenge you face, and every victory you claim shapes the remarkable story of your life. If this journey has inspired you, if you're ready to commit to these habits and transform your life, don't stop here. Subscribe now so you never miss the next step in your growth, and join a community of people who, like you, are choosing to live fully, intentionally, and powerfully. Your transformation is happening. Keep showing up, keep growing, and most importantly, keep celebrating every step of the way.